Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Sarah here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Sean, and he's selling his Amazon FBA and e-commerce business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Welcome to the show, Sean. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, very happy to have you here and really looking forward to talking a bit more about your business. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. So this is an Amazon FBA and e-commerce business in the home and kitchenware niches created in November 2016. The average monthly revenue of the business is $22,212, and it has an average of $6,350 per month in net profit, and that is based on a 12-month pricing period. Included in the sale of the business are domain and all site content and files, email list, trademark, social media accounts, VA contract, SOPs, and supplier contract and relationship. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47238 to learn more about the business or to unlock the listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing. Now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's dig into the interview. So, Sean, can you tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. So I started dabbling into the e-commerce scene more than about 10 years ago, selling personal things, buying things on clearance and selling it on eBay. That was before I graduated from uni. So basically retail arbitrage kind of business model. Later on, after graduating, I joined PricewaterhouseCoopers as an auditor, was selling online part-time, but soon realized that the arbitrage model wasn't sustainable. So switched up and did wholesale, where I bought supplies from distributors and manufacturers and sold them online. So the products were mainly like books, toys, household products. Later on, wanted to try, the great entrepreneur life. Left my job, started a company which focuses on wholesale and at the same time private labeling as well. So we were a little heavy on the wholesale side in the beginning, and only in recent years we focused a lot on the private label side and managed to get it to overtake the wholesale side as well in terms of sales.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So you've been around the online space for a little bit. What drew you to Amazon FBA and, e-commerce as an online business model?
So in Malaysia, I wanted to do something related to the internet, as I believe that's where the future is, right? So that's when I started, watching videos, reading online about all kinds of online business models. That's where I started following some internet bloggers. One of them, namely Spencer Horse, as he shared his journey on his ventures, and one of them was Amazon FBA. So I started trying that out as well. So he recently sold one of his sites on Empire Flippers as well. So just following in his footsteps.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Literally following in his footsteps. That's awesome. Why do you think Amazon FBA is a good business model for those interested in online business?
Well, we've tried a few business models, namely online and retail arbitrage, wholesale, drop shipping, but we found that private labeling gets us better margins, and at the same time, we are building a brand, which helps a lot when there is brand loyalty. So there will be repeat sales, and we are also in full control of the products. So if there's any issue regarding the product, we can fix it right away. As compared to other business models, we can't do that. So we started this private label brand in 2016, but didn't really focus much on it as we had our other wholesale part as well. So during that time, we already started experiencing repeat sales, and we only recently focused our efforts on it late 2018, and it has been doing quite well since. It still has a lot of room to grow as it's not at its full potential yet.
Yeah, so that leads me to my next question then. Why are you selling the business instead of keeping it and growing it?
So I have another business which requires my full attention, and it would be a waste to let this business stay stagnant, as we know that there's brand recognition already, and there's customers that searches the brand name on Google and also on Amazon. So on top of that, there are repeat customers, and it would be a shame to just leave it, as it is, and I won't have the time to grow it further as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would you say there's anything you learned from this business that you'd apply to future sites or businesses? Or did you find something along the way that just seemed to really work for you?
Yeah, so product-wise, having a good quality product is paramount. We should never settle for anything that we are not satisfied with, because if we ourselves aren't confident with the product, how can we expect others to be happy about it, right? And especially on Amazon, where customers are really vocal and they will share their reviews. Why are they happy or why are they not? So therefore, identifying products which is of high quality is definitely one of the main things that we will apply to any business. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to customers about what's wrong with the intention to fix the product and their issue. So customer service will bring the brand a long way as well.
Yeah, I think that's really solid insight. Would you say there's anything you tried that didn't work with this business?
Well, we have tried expanding to too many different variations, like for example, colors, sizes, those kind of things. So some of those products just wouldn't work. We have refined our research and have done it well that whatever the product that we have now currently sells already. So we also had inventory planning in the beginning. If you can see our sales, you can see this reflected in certain months where our sales were down, then goes back up to normal when the new stock arrives. So when certain months when the sales are down, that's usually because the product are out of stock. So we are currently constantly adjusting our inventory planning so that we will not go out of stock for any product. And so it won't affect the sales as well.
Yeah, and speaking of inventory, I want to make sure that we don't skip over this. Can you explain to me how this business, it's primarily FBA, but you do have a small amount of sales coming from your website and eBay. Can you just walk me through that a little bit?
So we fulfill our sales from Amazon when we have sales from either our website or eBay, but that just takes up a small portion of it.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that we didn't miss that. Would you say there's any advice that you'd give to our listeners that you'd wish you'd known when you had started?
Well, I wish that I had experimented with the different ways to sell sooner so that I can identify which is the best way. And with that, we would be able to grow bigger and faster as well. So don't let fear paralyze you and just do it and learn from it. Besides, we learned that inventory planning also is really important, as we can see. The toughest thing to see is a reduction in sales due to products going out of stock. Also, we would focus much more on the private labeling part if we knew this much sooner.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. What are you currently doing in terms of marketing for the business?
For Amazon, it's just pure PPC only. And also, we used to try some social media advertisement. We didn't do well ourselves because our focus wasn't really in doing that.
Okay. If you were to keep this business, what are some ways you would try to grow it?
Firstly, we would expand the product range, which complements our current products. Getting into retail would be good as well. Selling the B2B to businesses would also be a good business model to tap into to secure higher bulk recurring orders. On top of that, participating at trade fairs would be good exposure for the brand. Our brand is also well associated with small and home business owners, as the products suit them. It's in the household business. So influencer marketing would help really well as well to expose the brands to these kind of users. We identify it as one of the keys to grow further as well, using influencer marketing. So besides that, expanding to relevant products. On top of that, currently we're only selling in the US and UK Amazon. So expanding to other country marketplaces would help grow the business as well. So some of the products we have checked have really good demand from other countries such as Germany, France, and even Japan. So doing so will open ourselves to an even bigger market.
That's exciting stuff. Sounds like there's a lot of growth potential there. Of course, on the flip side, just making sure we're covering all our bases. Do you think that there's any risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Well, essentially, there's risks in all businesses. So for this, I would say one of the main risks would be is that you are in the hands of Amazon and you would need to adapt to any changes Amazon does, such as increase or decrease in fees, restricting certain product categories and such. However, I believe that this risk can be well handled as long as we are offering great products, great service to customers as well. So only use white hat marketing strategy, follow Amazon terms and conditions, and you should be, so not too worried there.
Yeah, that's definitely solid advice. Well, can you tell me about the amount and type of work you're doing on this business for maintenance?
Okay, so personally, I only decide on what new products to expand to, which complements our current range of products. So as for the business, it currently runs by itself without me having to work in it. So we have staffs who help with the customer service and reordering from suppliers when stock is low. In a week, I would say I spend about 2 to 4 hours, mainly approving orders, making payments to suppliers, checking the overall condition of the account if everything is running smoothly. Of course, if I were to grow it further, I would spend more hours on it.
All right. Would you say there's skills or requirements for someone not familiar with this niche or business model?
Well, we are open to talk for a month to get anyone not familiar with the niche of business model up to par with it. The only requirement is actually the will to explore and learn. So if the buyer has never sold on Amazon before, they may need to learn the difference between a normal e-commerce business versus an FBA business, because there are certain things that isn't the same. And also to learn up like Amazon terms and conditions. So that part is really important as well. As for the niche part, we just need to learn about like the product material differences, also have a basic understanding of consumer needs, which we will brief them about it anyway. So not too hard to handle the niche side.
All right. Well, I guess you've answered my next question then. I was going to ask you how much support you're offering buyers, but I think you just said 30 days, correct?
Yeah, 1 month. Yep.
Okay, great. Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes.
Okay. Are you open to something like an earnout?
No, as we would need the funds for the next venture as well.
Okay. A few personal questions here. Is there anyone who inspired you while building this business that our listeners might like as well? So I think you did mention a name at the beginning of this interview, but I'm looking for, say, podcast hosts, YouTubers, Facebook community groups, etc. Anything that might be good resources for our listeners.
Yes, do watch Sarah Blakely's masterclass. She's the founder of Spanx. So she's a real inspiration, as her journey is really similar to anyone doing private label, really relevant to this business as well. So she gives really solid advice in her masterclass. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Is there any software tools that you use that our listeners might like as well?
In the beginning, we started using Jungle Scout to help scout the products to be sold, and also Keeper, which shows the sales velocity of the products. So that helped us to get the first few products up and running. But after a while, you get a sense of what sells and what doesn't. So for now, we only use those tools to verify our new product choices, but we don't really depend on them too much.
Awesome. What drove you and motivated you while having this business?
Well, like I said before, I believe that the future is through the internet, where everyone is connected. So there are numerous business models that could be done online, but one really stuck with me, which was Amazon FBA. It feels good when a product that you created starts selling, and it gives you a sense of satisfaction that not many other businesses can give. So the tedious parts of the business, such as the fulfillment, packing, are already handled by Amazon. So I have the time to focus on what really matters in the business. We have also seen many successful sellers on Amazon going into the 7-8 sales figures, which is really, really motivating as well. So decided to give it a shot, and it has been a pretty great journey so far.
Oh, that's great. I'm very happy to hear how it's worked out for you. Well, final question here. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Well, this is a stable business which still have a huge growth opportunity. Most importantly, it is a fully automated business which requires minimal maintenance. This gives you time to grow it the way you want or the direction to steer it to. It's totally flexible. You can work from anywhere you want. You just need you and your laptop. It is optional if you choose to grow it or not. Personally, I would choose to grow it, but just maintaining it as it is good enough as well.
Great. Well, Sean, you've done a great job on this interview. I think I've covered pretty much everything that I've wanted to get out of this interview. Was there anything else that I might have missed that you'd want to share?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, great. Well, really looking forward to seeing how everything plays out for you, and just best of luck in the deal process.
Yep. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. All right, for everyone listening out there, thanks for tuning in. To check out more details on this business or to unlock the listing, visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 47238. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. By unlocking the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business and can start your due diligence. Until next time.